Breaking news, Carmelo Anthony's motion for new trial has been denied. And this is your host, Jay Carter with the Black Lawyers Podcast. And today I'll be breaking down that motion for new trial and also why I think it may have been denied. The third part of their argument was probably the strongest. And it talked about this gentleman's agreement, allegedly, that was left off the record. And it was between allegedly the prosecutors and Carmelo's defense attorneys that essentially said that they would keep all prior bad acts out and any sort of character evidence out. And so when it was revealed that Carmelo Anthony would use self-defense in his trial, meaning he would have to take the stand and speak, the prosecutors at the last minute went against their agreement and said, well, what we talked about is not going to apply to Carmelo if he takes the stand. And so, meaning they would talk about any prior bad acts and they would talk about any sort of character evidence against him. And so he literally had 10 minutes to decide if he was going to take that risk and take the stand anyway. And obviously he decided not to. This went into the other part of their argument, which talked about how because he could not take the stand in his defense without them opening up this can of worms against him, that the lack of his testimony essentially ensured that he would get a guilty verdict because this trial was all about self-defense. And so in this case, he really needed to take the stand to explain what happened. I just want to talk briefly about some of the things that were revealed. So in this motion for new trial, some of the stuff that they said that they would leave off the record were text messages talking about the KKK and using the N-word and them being suspended and using school slurs and putting graffiti using slurs. Some of the threatening text messages included, I'm going to kill that MF. I was about to beat the expletive out of those kids, and even gun threat texts where they were suspended after another student texted about them potentially bringing a gun to school. All of that was left out in exchange for Carmelo also having his alleged prior bad acts and messages left out. And some of the evidence included a stalking incident report from his ex-girlfriend who said that because they had broken up, he was still stalking her. And that there was also an image of a blade or a knife, and it was photographed along with the words, I'm low-key on the verge of the end, something along those lines. And so they said that they would leave all that out because that nor anything that the twins had done had anything to do with their interactions underneath the tent.